Well, hello again. This is installment number 3 of 6 things that you may want to do right now. This session explores refinancing an existing mortgage. We'll also look at using low-performing cash to pay down the mortgage and see how that looks. And as we'll find out, it's a great idea to have a comprehensive look at your whole situation to make this decision. So here we have a fellow by the name of Refi, 66 years old. His budget is $68,688, but that doesn't include his mortgage, and you'll see why in a minute. Tax bracket is 12%, and plans to retire at 66. And as you can see, he's going to be in trouble unless he dies before 75. He is out of money. So let's take a look at the rest of his picture here. So he's got a fair amount in savings, $300,000 in his former employer's 401k, $120,000 in an IRA. He's adding the max to that every year. A healthy amount of cash and $200,000 in treasuries, very safe. And then his home. He makes a good living, $7,000 a month. Again, plans to quit at 66. We are planning to wait until 70 to claim Social Security because he needs for that to be as high as it can possibly be. His longevity calculator tells us he's going to live to be 91, so that's a no-brainer to save Social Security until the last possible date. Here's the expense tab. Currently, his mortgage is $1,271 a month. He bought his home 15 years ago for his current balance is 210. Bought it 15 years ago, and it's a 5.9% mortgage. So his house will be paid off when he is 76. So what can we do here? Well, what if we lower his mortgage payment? Refi at about 3%, 3.125, 30 years, and see how that looks. Well, if we do that, that'll reduce his payment to $931 a month. But on the other hand, he'll pay that until he's 91. Now, those of you who have met with me, you know I'm a fan of paying off debt by dying. But seriously, inflation also works in your favor. That $931 a month will seem very small in his 80s. But let's see if that improved anything. Not much. Wow, not much at all. It gives him 2 more years. So that's not going to do it. Let's look at his assets here. What if we just pay the mortgage off? He owes 210. Let's just call it even at 200 and pay off that mortgage. So that means we spend the 200,000. That's gone. See how easy that is? Then the mortgage goes away immediately. Let's see if that helps. Oh, that helps quite a bit. He's not going broke until 83. But remember, he will probably live into his 90s, so we still have some work to do here. What if we could earn a little bit more on these assets? Well, he's only been getting 3% on his 401k. He's just in a very conservative bond fund. But let's be safe until he retires, and then after retirement, we're going to shoot for 5.5. Well, good. That takes us to 87. What if instead of paying off the mortgage with that 200,000, we put that back in the mix and can earn, I'm going to say 3.5% between now and retirement. That's a safe rate of return, and then 5.5 over the long term. And of course, then we need to restore the mortgage payment. So that's $931 a month, paid off at 91. So let's see if we've made things better or worse. Oh, worse. What a surprise. So part of the problem with this case is that he's 15 years into a 30-year mortgage. So he's paid most of the interest that he's going to pay. Virtually all the rest of his payments are principal. So it doesn't make sense in his case to refinance. Now, if it had been 2 years ago, that might make sense. So let's pay off the mortgage again and end the payment today. All right, so what if he works one more year? 66 is fairly young. He loves his job, doesn't mind working. He just thought everybody retired at 66. He actually can't claim Social Security until 67, especially if he keeps working. Otherwise, he would probably not get a payment. So let's take him to 67 and also take his income to 67. The reason I have to change this in both places is that when he retires, he no longer is making IRA contributions. Well, that takes us to 88. How about 68? Sorry, Ree, you're going to have to work until 68. Well, that did it. Amazing. One more year. Oh, wait, did I do that right? Let's see here. Yeah. Now, why is that? Well, if you notice in his cash flow plan, these blue bars are his income, and red is where he's having to draw down savings. So this is 1 year before he turns on Social Security where he is not having to draw down $80,000. So working these 2 extra years saves his budget $160,000, which of course increases the amount that's available to withdraw later on. Now, I don't know if any of you noticed something, but notice I don't have his home in the asset mix. I like to look at the cash assets first. So let's put his house in here because a home can be a great end-of-life asset. You can get a HECM, home equity conversion mortgage, for monthly cash flow. You can donate it to a nursing home in exchange for lifetime care, so a very flexible, valuable asset. Well, now, we need to extend his view here, so go to age 100. So now he's good until age 98. I need to check a couple of things here. Let's see. You'll also notice I don't have a rate of return for the house, because these numbers would generate cash flow, and the house is not generating cash flow. So that looks pretty good. I'm happy with age 98. So in this case, it did not make sense for Mr. Phi to refi.